Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Random Hour. As always, I'm your co-host Devin Moore of More Sports. As always, I'm joined with the Ghostbuster of Flowery Branch, Georgia, Kyle Crump, and and today we're joined with two special guests with us today, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Hello, I'm James Cross the Line Paranormal.
And I'm Brandon with Cross the Line Paranormal.
Uh, Thank you guys for coming on today. We're not like it when technology breaks.
Thank you
Thank you
for having
guys.
us.
Thank you
Yeah.
guys for coming on today. And I'm going to start us off with the first question is how'd you guys come up with the name Crossline Paranormal? Or, sorry, Crossroad
Well,
Paranormal.
actually, Cross the Line Paranormal, yeah,
Yeah.
it was actually thought up by a former member who's no longer with the team. He started the team back in the early days, 2010, and Brandon was actually part of it back then. And I joined in 2013, and about 2021, he got married and basically couldn't do the team no more because his wife put him on lockdown. So he gave the team over to me.
No kitchen bath.
uh, but yeah, I mean, it's as far as the name itself. I mean, it's what it is. You're crossing over that invisible line, I guess, to the other side, and that's kind of his thought process behind it. What happens when you cross over. Basically, what are we interacting with? Crossing that line of reality to possibly another dimension.
Okay.
What got you into the paranormal and ghost hunting?
Far as myself, well, obviously the ghost hunting shows back in the early '90s when they came out. But sometime around that time frame, uh, my grandfather passed away, and I seen him walking through my parents' house, and that kind of it freaked me out, but also piqued my interest. Like, whoa, did I just see what I think I saw? And little stuff would happen here and there around the house. Stuff would turn on and off. Doors would open and close on their own. Things like that. And it always intrigued me. And then the ghost hunting shows come out, and I was like, wow, you can actually do this. You can go investigate. So that's what got me hooked.
What got me hooked, it was I started out being a non-believer. I was like I was like trying to debunk stuff, and when I was little, watching stuff like that too as well. I was like, man, that's not real. I mean, it can't be real. The older I got, and I had a friend of mine that she was the EMT captain, and she started doing this, and she's like, you need to start coming along with me and let's do it together. And we actually done it together a couple times. And this is how I came across the paranormal, cross the line paranormal, is through her. And she knew I was a debunker, 100% debunker, and I didn't believe in it. And what really got me into it, we went to Andersonville, and we was in that church, that log cabin church, and they was going through the notes of what happened in there, painting, oil-based painting, cries at a certain time, smoke smells at a certain time in there at night. There's a supposedly be a girl or a lady or a woman that pulls men hair on the back of the pew of the church, and we was in there, just me and her, and I'm sitting on the back of the church, and you technically you're supposed to not provoke anything that goes on in there. And I was just starting, trying to get to something to happen. I actually like tell them like, "Hey, come on, this is all you got. You're supposed to pull men's hair. Let's pull mine." Nothing ever happened. So I got up. As my buddy, she was running the live EVP with her 360 mic, and I was sitting up in the third pew, and I was like, you know what, Lord, let me get up and I'm gonna go over here to the piano and see the smoke, debunk the smoke and oil based painting. And as I was getting up, I hear a woman says, "Watch it."
Ooh.
Right dead in my right ear. And I looked at her and I turned around and thought it was her. And I was like, "What you say, Laura?" He goes, "I didn't say nothing." I was like, "Nah, quit bull crapping me. What did you say?" She said, "I didn't say nothing." I said, "No, no, come on now. You're pulling my leg. You're playing with me. What did you say?" She said, "I didn't say nothing." And all I heard was her saying "Mark," as in letting her know when she goes back and go over the evidence of the recorder, and she hears that word "Mark." That means go back a couple more steps, it was seconds back, so she can hear it again. And after I got off, I was working at the jail at that time as a sergeant. She's like, "Hey, when you get off, come on over to the office. I got something for you." There it was. Faint woman says, "Watch it." And since then, I started getting into it, and I was like, "Nah, nah, I want more proof, and you got to prove more, more, more." So we met up with Philip, and that's actually how I joined up with Philip and them, and mostly a couple years. I mean, about what 1 or 2 years later, I met with James because he gave it up to James, and I've been in and out at the time between James got it and Philip left it. So that's it on my end. But I now I'm like probably about 80 something% believing it, but there's still more out there that is still scratch. I mean, it still make you like, what in the heck did I just saw? uh, I even there's a couple times I even had, like James says, always called me crybaby because what right here, this shirt right here, that place ain't no joke. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just started. I keep talking. Keep going.
Oh no,
No,
you're
no,
good.
you're completely fine.
Yeah, that
Uh,
that is definitely a video you should watch on TikTok. We went to Pinhurst, and Brandon got very emotional. A spirit there apparently latched onto him or something to the point that he was in tears down in the basement. We had to get him out of there.
ooh, it's
That
okay.
video is on our TikTok. You can watch that. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, it's all good, guys. So just to get off Ghost for a second, for our interviews, we like to let our audience get to know you guys, and your audience get to know you guys in a different light. Besides ghost hunting, what are some other things that you guys nerd out about or hobbies you enjoy?
Jeep, Jeeping. I have a Jeep, old Jeep. I fixed it up and go ride trails and stuff with it. Um, I like shooting. You know, not so much now. Like I do like collecting guns and stuff, but things are so expensive right now. It's the last thing I can afford. But my main
How
hobby is
are
jeeping and ghost hunting's very expensive, so it's kind of limited on how many hobbies you can have.
yeah, me and my girlfriend both want Jeeps, but they're so
Mm.
expensive and apparently they break down a good bit from what a lot of people
If
say.
you abuse them, yes. Now, like mine's a '98 model. It's an older Jeep. My wife's is a 2015 model, 4 door, and you just gotta. It's like anything. You gotta maintain them, take care of them. You can't abuse them. Definitely the newer models. They're not made to be out in the trails like the older ones are. They're made what they call the mall crawler. They're made to go look pretty, set up, lift them, put nice wheels and tires on them, ride them to the mall. That's all the
Oh, good
electronics in them
choice.
now. They're not designed to handle being out in the woods. Um, so if you want one for trail riding, you definitely want to get an older one. Like I said, mine's like a '98, and yeah, it has a computer on it, but it's still more of original Jeep, less electronics than a lot of the newer stuff. It's more I take it out on the weekends and
Okay.
play ride with it, and hers we take on trips. you know, we don't
Okay.
try to abuse hers.
Okay.
Okay.
Brendan, what about you?
If I'm not chasing ghosts, I'm under the water diving.
Oh, okay. You like to dive?
I like to dive and play golf. I mean, and hunt and fish. So there's all mine right there on the table.
Okay.
Diving is more my sport as well. Besides following James around in the dark,
uh, it's
somebody got to protect.
it's okay. Back to the story. When I first met my wife a couple years ago, like I said, my wife's a big believer in ghosts, and she's like, when she first met Kyle, because Kyle had the security job, I didn't. She was like, "Oh, I want to go hear the organ," and so her and Kyle are just running in the dark with each other, trying to go hear the organ
Hold on a
played.
minute. Hold on a minute. I didn't have the security job at the time. You did. We just left you.
Oh, y'all just. Oh, I thought you had the job.
No, you had the security job at the time. We just ended up leaving you to go look for ghosts.
That's even worse.
Wow. So your wife
Uh,
left you to go look
It's
for
fine.
ghosts.
We came back.
she did.
Hey,
Hey,
I'll be
my
back.
wife would do. My wife would do the same thing. My wife ain't afraid to go alone in a dark area or building.
You just got to escort her down the steps.
Yeah. She'll bust her ass down a set of steps. That video's on TikTok too.
It's okay.
Not only one place, multiple places.
Yeah, she's failed about every damn place she's gone to.
If it's got steps, she's fell down it.
I feel that one. I'm the same way. That's like I'm surprised I didn't bust my tail going down the steps from the Tipton Library from the Juno room down to the main floor. I was like, Lord, here we go.
So you want to tell them about the time we were playing hide and seek?
That's what made me think of it. Oh yeah, yeah. So obviously, what do college kids do to kill a Sunday night, or it was probably a Thursday night, whatever, right? Go around, mess around with flashlights, and
We were playing
Flashlight?
hide and seek. Yeah, we
oh
were playing hide and seek.
yeah, playing hide and seek with flashlights. And after searching for hours, we were looking for. I was looking for Kyle and our friend Izzy. And after hours of looking, because we looked like all over the campus, and I was like, we called him. He's like, all right, hey, we give up. And Kyle's like, look up.
No, you didn't call us. Well, you eventually called us, but you need to tell them what happened before you called us.
Oh, when y'all were making hissing sounds, thinking I thought you got.
No, we weren't making a hissing noises. So, me and Izzy are up in a tree, and they've walked around this tree so many times, and we're like, let's have some fun with it. So we start making noises. We start making monkey noises. I start making dolphin noises. I was making Perry the Platypus noises. Anything to help them out. And all of a sudden I hear, I'm so scared. It must be a demon. I'm going to shit a bucket. And I just see them run off, and they end up calling us, and we're like, did they just say they're going to shit a bucket?
Damn. Wow.
Oh,
Mm-mm-mm. Shit in a bucket. That's
Yep.
Mm-mm-mm. Yeah,
knowing you.
I've never been that scared. I've
We
been
thought
pretty
the
spooked,
dolphin
but
noises. Yeah.
yeah, you think that would have gave it away?
Yeah. No.
Uh,
But y'all travel around to different locations to ghost hunt. So you're on the road. What is your go-to road trip snack?
M&M peanut butter M&Ms
ooh.
and
Okay.
Jelly Belly jelly beans.
Okay.
Jelly belly, jelly beans. I stayed there with the peanut butter M&Ms.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Brandon, did you
we've
give an answer?
traveled
I'm
some
sorry.
crazy places. Uh,
Yeah, peanut butter M&Ms. I stick to that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Because
Okay.
I didn't hear you on my end. Uh, all right. Back to the ghost stuff. What they're all here for. What we're all here for. What is your guys' favorite urban legend or cryptic, and why?
I'm still I'd go Bigfoot. And why? I mean, because there's been so many eyewitnesses, but yet they still haven't found him or caught him. But there's been so many video, pretty compelling videos that's come forward, um, showing some kind of creature out there that's been all over, not just U.S. but in Russia and all those places too. Um, there's definitely something out there that's very smart and knows how to avoid humans. Um, we have one on our team too.
Able to
Yeah, we
avoid
call him
humans
Bigfoot. He's got his
or
own
Bigfoot?
costume.
Hmm.
I should have sent a picture of that to y'all.
Which picture was that?
I should have sent a picture of you in your Bigfoot outfit.
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
You good, Devin? You
But
need a minute?
No, I'm good, bro. It just made me think of.
Okay.
Have you guys been to the Bigfoot Museum in LJ?
I haven't.
I've been by it. I've been by it, but it was closed, so I didn't get to go in.
Oh, Kyle's been to it. Kyle, you want to entertain him?
I mean, we went to it. It was like a roadside attraction. We're like, well, what not to do on a date? We went in there. We're like, we're up here. We got some time to kill. Let's go check this out. And it's a bunch of stuff. It's a walking museum. It's a little interesting. It's all right. I mean, Devin, did you go? I mean,
No, I remember you went because I'm just like, oh yeah, Bigfoot.
yeah.
I'd rather go see the largest thing of yarn before I go see Bigfoot because I'm like, okay, if Bigfoot's in the woods. He's in the woods.
Well, you bring your bucket, and we'll see what we can find in the woods.
The golden bucket.
You know what? I wish I had the trash can in my office still. I would have picked up like I'm ready. I'm ready to take my shit bucket.
Uh, okay. Okay. What equipment do you guys use for ghost hunting?
Brandon, you want to answer that one?
Well, you got all my stuff over there. So I
I
buy stuff. I was like, here you go, son. You can keep it over at your house. Just need the social security
um
number at the end of the year.
I mean, there's so many things you can use. A lot of stuff. I mean, the most important thing is just using yourself, your senses, and common sense. You're trying to figure out whatever your experience is. It really paranormal? Is it electrical issue while your lights flickering, kind of thing? Is it a draft in your house while your doors opening and closing? Um, a lot of our equipment is EMF based, electromagnetic field based. Um, that's how it detects. As far as uh, the theory is, spirits are made of energy and can manipulate the EMF field, so they're able to interact with our different equipment. Um, Whether like what Devin saw, we had like tripwire out there. It was like it's 36 feet long. It's got 20 something sensors on it, each one their own sensor, and it'll light up different lights, colors for intensity, depending on how intense it is. Um, K2 meters do the same thing. They little five little lights on them. Spirit box we used a lot, doing an Estes session or a Delco session. The Spirit box basically it runs through radio waves really fast and to help create white noise. And the theory is the spirits can speak through it, and you'll hear them live. Um, the other is using voice recorders. That's the most popular, I would say, is voice recorders to get EVPs, electronic voice phenomena. You ask some questions, you don't hear any responses. You play your recorder back, and if you get a response to one of your questions, they call that EVP.
Uh, okay.
So,
Yeah. This
uh,
is actually I put in my notes. Oh, go ahead. I accidentally cut you off.
no, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Yeah. So some of the I just went back and I just wrote some notes down. So a couple of things you guys used. Obviously, you mentioned the long string of strobe lights, and this is the weird thing. And I'll tell you this: we found an investigation. So our group was the first group in the main lobby where we had the voice box and the infrared, right? The thermal, and how the thermal works. Does the
Hmm.
thermal work that can it pick up hit signatures of possibly a body or possibly a I guess the word I'm looking for is
It,
Apparition.
yeah,
hot or
apparition.
cold. Hmm. Yeah, it's a thermal imager. It'll
Okay.
pick up differences in
Yeah,
heat
the
or
weird.
cold. Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. While we were using it, it's weird. Actually, and I'll tell you this. And this was weird part. Gabe, she was with us, but when we were over by the little girl. So Kyle, just to give you a backstory, there are two little girls, and James, Brandon, you guys might have to correct me. Just correct me if I'm wrong. There are two girl spirits that haunt the Tipton Library. I probably shouldn't say haunt, or they
Hmm.
hang around the Tipton Library, and they were hanging around that first part for sure for a second. And on the thermal thing in the top, the way you guys had set up that window in the top right corner, there was definitely a speck because it was weird because we all thought it was the street light from far away. We're like, no, there's no way this thing can pick up the street light. Then all of a sudden, the motion string lights started going off, and then voice box said, the voice box started going off, and it's like, oh, there's something in here. And it's funny, our
Nice.
friend Chris, because she was, before, James, before you came over with the other device, I'm going to say in a second, before you came over, James, with that one device, I'll ask in a second, is our friend Chris went over to the back and the voice box kept going off saying, get back, stay away. And Chris is like, oh, my bad, I'll stay away. So that little girl was definitely active that night. And then the second question
Mm-hmm.
I have is also there was the second device was pointing at the desk where it looks like
Hmm.
on the screen because we were sitting in the chair and it kind of looked like stop motion figures where it was our bodies with yellow lights or yellow dots all down them. What's the name of that tool?
They call it the SLS camera. Um, and the actual technical names escape me at the moment, but it's the S then light sensor something. but
Okay.
but it basically just shoots out like 1,000 lasers and track, and it's based off the Xbox tracking sensor is what is the sensor, and somebody got with Microsoft and developed the software for it where you can use it strictly for tracking, and it'll pick up people, but then also um, it'll pick up stick figures when nothing's there. Uh, it's kind of a controversial device in the paranormal field. We still like to use it because, like I've argued with people before, this whole field is a bunch of theories. You can't discredit everything. Um, who's to say it is picking or not picking something up? Because I've took that device and I've gone all around that library before and not catch anything. Same with other buildings. I've walked all around, not catch anything. Then all of a sudden, I take it somewhere or the same building at a different time, and boom, I get something over here. Boom, I get something over there. So, I feel like it does more than what some people give it credit for. But it's like anything, you got to take it with a grain of salt and, try to debunk what you can. But when it's picking up a figure in a chair, there's not no way for it to track something that, because it'll sometimes track something that kind of looks like a human form, like most of the time standing up for like something long in shape. It might put a figure there, But sitting in a chair, no. To me, if
Mm.
it's picking up a figure in the chair, there's something sitting in the chair. um, but we've gotten a lot in behind that before. We last year year weekend tour, there was two figures sitting in both chairs. Where this last time, I think with you, it was just one figure in the chair, and then I think you said your wife walked up over there, and sat in a chair.
Yeah, it was her friend Sarah sat in the chair for like the
Mm.
longest minute
Her friend sat
because I
there.
was like you, I was like, because I've yeah, I was like you guys, I try to debunk it, but I'm just like for it to pick up on something, right? If it is motion censored, it would pick up something and disappear. That thing was there for a good minute, and the voice
Mm-hmm.
box was like, and we knew it was a little girl, if I remember correctly. I wish my wife was up. The girl
Mm-hmm.
says that she was 8, and no, I'm sorry, I'm getting it mixed up. Because there was a girl there named Abigail, but I can't remember if Abigail was in the children's section. Oh man, the children's section was
Mm-hmm.
weird too when we were in there. And the children's section, this is what's scary. I know I'm getting my thoughts jumbled, but listen, nothing is more scarier when you're walking in the children's section and you're using a green flashlight and you just see a sad Eeyore just jump scare you. Ain't
Was it a
nothing
mirror?
more scarier. All right, I almost used my shit bucket on a scary Eeyore.
Was it a mirror, Tevin?
At least you
No,
didn't
it was
see
a
the
stuffed. So in the
disembodied arm
children's
over
section,
there.
they have stuff. Wait, what?
You gotta
That
swear
that's
it. Don't do
the
that.
this
Wait, there was a what in the children's section?
this the assistant librarian last year, she was telling me during our tour in the middle of the week, not during the tours, um, told me that she was leaving for lunch or the day or something, and she was over in the children's section telling somebody bye. And as she walking away, she looked down that row of computers towards the back bookshelf where we had our equipment set up, and she said she
Mm,
saw a kid's arm reaching out to the bookshelf, but she said it looked funny. And so she was like, and she didn't remember seeing any kids. It was almost closing time. So she walked down the aisleway there, and there was no kid there. So she left in a hurry.
interesting. Yeah, no. If I would have definitely saw an arm, I would have screamed. Y'all would have heard a ah, and I would have ran out the door because I don't know that children's section. But here's the thing, and I was the one. I was like, oh, I can't wait to go up top because up top in that geology room, there's something lingering up there because it's funny. Earlier that day, uh, we asked to go in there. And it's funny. I don't know if you've guys been there in a day, but there's a younger girl, a
Mhm.
younger Hispanic girl that works up there, and she's like, she's like, yeah, I've been up here. Started working here last year, and she's like, I've just gotten sick, and I felt cold chills. In fact, when we went in that room and closed it, we're like, man, it's kind of chilly in here, and it was just like, it
Mhm.
was giving us weird vibes because we were doing research on Tipton because we were like, well, we're already learning the history. We're going to a ghost tour. We might as well have fun and do some research. Because, like I said, I'm convinced the Shadowy Man is the founder of Tifton. Because when I
Mhm.
was up top, which when I was up top with the when we were up top with the music box, and you guys were all in the geology room. I think James, I think you came up. I'm trying to think, I think you were up behind us not that long ago. Anyways, I knew everybody was in the geology
Mhm.
room, and because I was convinced, I was like, oh, I want to, because I thought they were messing with me, right? They're like, okay, if you go near the motion box, it's going to go off, right? And the EKG reader, the handheld device, it started, going off. And all of a sudden, and Kyle, dude, we're not making this up. We just hear a doot, 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 like, a little show tune. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's a rat. Doot, 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 like every other minute. And I'm like, Megan, Chris, Sarah, stop messing with me. And they're like, Devin, we're all in here. And they all were. And all of a sudden, the EAG meter goes off. And I just hear, doo, 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 doo. And I'm like, Mr. Tiff, are you here? And the EKG meter kept going. It picked up on something. And, the music box kept playing over and over. And what was I doing? I kept saying, Mr. Tiff, will you come to this table? Or I said, how are you doing? I said something, and he kept going off every other minute. I can't remember what I said. Because, no, I said, hey, are you the shouty figure that everybody's been seeing? And again, the music box kept going off. And I just grabbed a seat. I said, Mr. Tiff, I'd like to have a meeting with you. I work over at the schools. I want to have a meeting with you. Doot, 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 doot. And the music box kept going off again. So I'm like, oh, maybe did I get him? And I didn't get him because it's funny over in the geology lab, the music box went off. They said that because Sarah had mentioned whiskey earlier, which this is the weird part. Our friend Sarah mentioned she had whiskey downstairs with the spirit Oscar. And the voice box said whiskey. And Sarah's like, oh, do you guys want whiskey? Like the music box kept playing over and over. And I was like, ooh.
They knew how to party.
Yeah, for real. And this is where the creepy part is because I was like, oh, okay. Because obviously there's something in there. And I walked in the room. As soon as I walked in the doorway, the music box said, devil, get out. And we're all like, devil, get out. We all got spooked. And I was just like, they're like, hurt, devil, out, hurt. And I just said, all right, it's talking to me. I just walked in. This thing's going off. I'm going to go back messing with Mr. Tiff or something. Somebody's up here with me. And it kept going off. And we got spooked until later I found out, oh, that makes sense. I'm wearing a visor with devil written across it. So I'm like, okay, that made sense versus there's a devil in the room.
And
Back
they
it up
read
a
your
little
hat.
bit. Back it up a little bit. When you were making the sound effects for certain devices, was it the? I see Kyle like looking at it and like what? uh, when you was making that sound effects, Devin, when you was asking a question, was it just the music box was going off,
So here's
or
the.
you had some other devices in there was going off as well? Because when I was why I'm asking this question because the laser grid, my laser grid, I got we had set up in there, it makes almost exact same noise you was making right there because
Mm-hmm.
anything that comes across of it, it will show on that little screen. It'll make a little beeping noise as well. It'll be like.
Oh, my bad. I couldn't remember what sound. So the little doo-doo-doo was the handheld device, the EKG reader. Because I was right in front of.
Okay,
I was staring at the laser
so
too. Because I was like, oh, the laser's about to go off. He's up here near me. Because I kept hearing the music box go doo 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 doo. Not doo doo doo, but I kept hearing the music sensor go
yeah,
off.
okay.
And I was like, oh, he's coming. I got him. I got him. I got him. And I'm sitting there like, I'm getting excited because I'm getting, the EKG readers going off. I'm staring in front of the laser. Nobody's messing with me at this point. I'm excited because I'm like, oh, I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him. And I just keep talking to him. And then it was going off, but he wouldn't manifest or come near the laser because I was like, I'm going to get that picture. I'm going to get it. I'm going to have a conversation with him. I've got some questions. But it was. And that was
We got it.
Yeah, y'all got it. And I was
Yeah,
trying to
that
get it for
picture's
myself.
crazy.
Right. I was trying to debunk that as well when I went up there for the last night, and I got the chance and got a break from my job to go up there. Uh, shoot, I worked from sun up to sundown for 7 days straight for almost a whole month, putting up fiber.
Mm.
And James calls. He said, "Hey, you gonna be able to make this one?" I said, "Yeah, hell yeah, I'm up there." And he goes, "Well, we're gonna do. We got invited to what Brinkley's jail,
Bleckley Jail
James."
in Cochran, Georgia.
I drove 3.5 hours to go there, and then we leave there and then go back to James'
Right,
house.
2 hours back to my house.
Get back up and go to the last tour in Tifton Library and we stayed there till about 3 o'clock in the morning and came home, and I had to be up at work the next day and 3 hours later. But that last time, I saw the picture of what Liz took with the laser grid.
Mhm.
I tried to go debunk it. I even tried to go. What's his name? Michael. Me and him tried to go up there,
Hmm.
and he was taking pictures with my phone, and I was getting close to the laser grid. I was trying to get down, get up, but you could still see the laser grid on my shirt. Well, that's out of proportion. I'm like, well, how you cannot make that laser bend
Mhm.
unless you have a certain mirror in there to make it look like it's bending with a effect, illusion. But I don't think a library is going to have anything up there besides books. But I was trying to see what kind of book got it, them clear coats
Mhm.
cover them. I try to use them to throw it. It wouldn't even throw it. It'll bounce that laser and go different directions, but it won't bend. So what we call, uh, I think that it's something there besides a fake object where most people would look at it. Oh, that's fake. No, you can't bend laser. I mean, I'm a true debunker. I try to tell myself.
Well,
I try to tell myself. Uh, this is not real. Somebody play games with it. But when you actually go up there and try to do it yourself, try to debunk that, you can't. And all you say, that's a plausible picture right there. That we got something. We got it looked like a
well, what's
briefcase.
cool?
Yeah,
What's cool? Yeah, tall, and that's their claims. A tall man. It looks like he's wearing a hat. And it looks
Yep.
like he has a briefcase. What's cool with it too, like Brandon's saying with the debunking, when Brandon and them went and stood in front of the laser, the grid was all over them. When you look at this figure,
Mhm.
you don't see the grid on him. He's solid black, except for what
Yep.
looks like the suitcase or whatever the hell he's holding.
Briefcase.
That is bent, like the laser's being bent, like in a
Yeah.
curve.
It, that's like it's somebody because I was so determined. I was like, because I was like Brandon. I was trying to debunk it. Then I'm like, no, 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 no. You can't. I was like, no, I'm going up there. That's why I'm glad we were the last group because I was like, yeah. Oh, let me tell you what my wife decided to do before we get to the basement part. How about during the whole time during the tour, we were sitting in the children's section where we got weirded out. My wife goes, "Hey, do you think my," and my wife was taking the flashlights and she was going, "Hey, do you think Devin is cute?" And flashed the light in my face. She goes, "For reference, this is Devin." Hey, do you like Chris's beard? Hey, for reference, this is Chris with the orange red beard. Do you like it? Do you like Sarah's dress? For reference, this is Sarah in this dress. And we're like, Megan, if you don't stop flashing that light in our face, we're gonna. And she's like, y'all aren't asking many questions. We're like,
Some
Megan, we're trying to figure it out. You're over there asking us like, and there was one point where she was like, and this is Devin again, and you can take him to wherever you live. I'm like, don't you dare tell me drag me somewhere I don't want to be. Don't you do it. And I said, don't you bring home no ghost friends. No. Oh, what was crazy was, what's funny during that whole time is the EKG readers start going off, and Megan, my wife Megan goes, "Do you want to come home with us?" And I yell, "Rent's 500, get electricity's 200," and that thing said, "Pew." I said, "That's what I thought."
You'd be
They
surprised some
come
of the
come
random
come live in my
questions you
apartment.
ask that you'll get a response to versus just the basic standard questions. So yeah, I mean, you could have possibly would have got some responses with some of the questions she was asking. Because what we found in a lot of places, a lot of times you may or may get a response to the standard questions, but then other times we'll leave a recorder going. They'll jump into your conversation that you're having with somebody else.
Yeah.
Um,
Um.
perfect example. Perfect example. Waverly. It's kind of bad, but me and my wife were joking around, and I made a dirty comment about a pipe in a room, and me and her the only one on the floor, and you hear another man's voice go, "Suck it."
Oh.
It wasn't.
Yeah. So
uh,
they'll jump in your conversation a lot of times, and without you even realizing it.
oh gosh, yeah. And the scariest one was down in the basement. Kyle, to give you reference, again, you guys might have to correct me. The most aggressive
Mm-hmm.
one was Oscar, and he was a mailman, correct?
Mm-hmm. There's Oscar, and then
Okay.
now just recently we discovered there's a guy named Philip, or spirit named Philip. They're
Oh,
very
oh, we did hear Philip. That's
bossy.
right. We did hear Philip that night.
Mm-hmm.
But where did we hear Philip at?
Mm-hmm.
Philip wasn't down in the
I've
basement
heard,
neither.
because I was running all the tours. I heard Philip's name said in genealogy and the basement.
Oh, okay. I don't think we were. I don't. Maybe it was geology. We heard Philip. Then again, I was trying to harass Mr. T, the Shadow Man. Who knows? Maybe I was messing with Philip. I'm over here trying to. I'm over here trying to have a conversation with one of them. Meanwhile, everybody's like playing whiskey and playing cards.
Right.
But no,
But yeah,
Oscar was the most
the basement.
aggressive,
The basement's where we
and
did the
so
Delco session.
okay. Let me ask you this: what's the name of the device where we had to wear the infrared goggles and then the headset?
That's that's the Delco session, or Delco experiment, if you want to
Okay.
call it. So the red goggles, buddy of mine, Mike Del Coro of War Party, or a friend of ours, out of Miami, he designed these goggles. But it's basically you're staring into red light. You can have them solid, you can have them blinking. Um, it's based off a CIA experiment from the 50s called the Gansfield effect. So
Hmm.
you basically have the spirit box going in your headset. You're not able to hear any questions being asked. All you do is repeat what you hear in your headset. Um, the the red light's supposed to help put you in a trance-like state. The CIA used it to test remote viewing. Um,
Hmm.
we've seen black mass. If you put the goggles on, you can't see your hand in front of you at all, or nobody walking in front of you. But I've done it. Brandon's done it. We've seen white light. We've seen black mass just like pass over the goggles. Just crazy stuff. They, but that's what it's supposed to be more for. Put you in a trance-like state to help increase your sensitivity with the session. As far as listening, it's the Estes method is the same principle. You're wearing a headset, but you're blindfolded. Where with the
Okay.
Delco, you're wearing the red goggles and staring at the red light.
Okay.
and
That was your-
and you're just repeating what you hear. And then when you have conversations like y'all saw in our presentations with Oscar and Christina down in the basement, it's kind of hard to dispute that when I'm 30 feet away, you can't hear what I'm asking, but yet you're responding to my every question I ask.
Yeah, our experience was weird. It didn't work for Chris and Sarah. For my wife, it was funny because we were talking about social media, and my wife just goes, Twitter, basketball. We're like, basketball is basketball. Frustrating, tired. We're like, oh, oatmeal cream pie. We're like, what? What? And they were like, all right, it's.
Well,
They were like, Megan, what are you talking about? She's like, what were y'all asking them? They were asking about Twitter and basketball and oatmeal cream pies. We were like, well, one, we were talking about social media. Two, they mentioned basketball. I guess they want to know about basketball. Basketball scores on Twitter. I don't know. Oatmeal cream pies, I just want to say.
well, I
But
know
then when I
Oscar. I
did
don't
it,
know about Philip because I haven't had much interaction with him, but Oscar keeps up with the news and watches the TVs that are on there because he's up with some of the times. Because I asked him one time who the
oh
president
yeah, he
was, and he
didn't
said
like
yeah,
Biden 3 times.
I've been touched down there in the basement.
Yeah, no, he was not a fan of me if that was him in the basement because it was my turn. Uh, I heard because I was like, okay, radio chatter, right? And then a clear voice just said, "Back up." I'm like, and we're gonna put these up, and I'm gonna back up away where my back's. I can't see my back, and y'all already told me this guy's pissed off. I'm
I
gonna back
remember
up.
that. I
I
remember
said
that.
nope, and they're like, no, 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 I didn't put him back on. No, 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 no. Some told me to back up, back up. I just looked at him. I'm like, are y'all messing with me? No, we were asking them about basketball scores. We are hoping they tell you. No, they told me to back up, bro. I'm backing up. I'm back. No, 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 no. I'm gonna go upstairs. Oh man, but yeah, that's pretty much all the equipment questions I have. That was our pretty much experience at the Tipton Library. So, transitioning to our next question, what is the spookiest places you guys have visited?
Mine is this
I
one.
mean, yeah. I mean, I put it this. I still hold Penhurst was amazing, nonstop from time we got there to time we left. Uh, I still hold Waverly as the highest, not activity wise. You know, had some crazy times, but because I saw a full bodied female hospital patient 5 feet from me. Uh, Best way I could describe it, it looked like something out of the Ring movie. We were coming out of what they called the Death Tunnel, which was a tunnel used to transport patients underground so the patients that were still alive wouldn't see because they had so many people dying every day. And they would wheel them down to the ambulances or the hearse. Well, me and my wife were coming out of the tunnel, and we were the only ones that went down there. When we come out of the tunnel, we noticed the door open off to the side that wasn't open when we went down. So we're like, okay, did somebody come down here behind us or something? But anyway, we walked up over there. I looked in there and just leaned in looking, leaned back, let her lean in to look, and I looked back the way we came, and there was a woman. She was so close to us, all I saw was from the waist up, wearing a hospital gown. And she was so detailed. Her skin was gray. I didn't really see her face because she had hair covering her face, and I could see the little emblems on her damn gown. I screamed, "Oh shit!" and like balled up like a defense, and she was there and gone. It was that fast. We went back and listened. I wasn't running the camera, but I do now. I wasn't back then. I just ran an audio recorder back then. This happened about 3 years ago. We played the audio back. Well, when we left out of the death tunnel, we were walking and talking, and my wife stopped and I asked her what's wrong, and she said I heard something dragging behind us. So the woman followed us out of the death tunnel until the point where I saw her. so, so that the oh shit factor for me was at Waverly.
She went home with you.
Huh?
I say she went home with you.
Yeah, no, she stayed there.
Sure about that. You got a lot of them
Mm-hmm.
around now.
Yeah, she ain't one of them.
Just tell them rent's 500
But
and electricity is 120. They'll run
yeah,
away.
right. But yeah, Penhurst, the most he happened. I mean, it was wow nonstop as far as activity from the. Like I said, we got there, we just walked in the building, and David, our buddy David, he heard footsteps run up the stairs. Just nonstop communication and interaction. Just that place was nuts. It was nuts.
From from kids crying, screaming, shadow figures,
Shadows, yeah.
uh, being being touched, scraped, clawed.
Yeah, Brandon was
Especially
scratched. God, it's just nonstop. The interactions, like I said, a lot of those, some of that you can watch. I do have it on our TikTok. The sessions we had from there too is just insane, mind blowing.
Okay.
just watching back from my experience down there, and then you got the comedian James want to sit there and throw the camera all up in your face. It's like, what do you feel, Brandon? What do you feel? What? Tell me what you feel. I'm like, really? You actually done this to me? He's like, I gotta have a documentary.
Yeah, we had to get it on tape.
I told him, I don't remember some of that. I don't remember it, and I'm glad he did do that because I wanted to be like, y'all was playing. No, we have proof. He was all up in my face.
Man, yeah, no.
Okay.
That's a good one.
So
Yeah,
our next
those
question
those
is
places are a little more
sorry.
intense than the library.
I love the theater better in Tifton as well.
Okay.
Yeah, the TIFF theater is
So
definitely more. The spirits are more interactive than the library is to in ways. The challenge with the theater is the acoustics. You couldn't have it'd be hard to have a group because of the acoustics. It echoes so bad in there. You'd hear everybody.
okay. What are some other spooky or interesting encounters that y'all have had on other locations?
Paranormal or like UFO or cryptid type experiences.
I was initially asking for paranormal, but I'll take cryptid as well and UFO.
All right, I do have a UFO story.
Okay.
Um, I was 16 one morning going to school. My buddy lived down a dead end dirt road. It was 7 something in the morning. Sun was coming up. You drive down the dirt road and it opens into a farm field, a clearing, and you drive down the side of the field. There's pine trees on one side and a field on the left side. Well, when I turned, I saw something reflective. I thought it was like Venus or something, planet reflecting from the sunlight raising. Excuse me. Well, when I got turned down the road, like it's like an S shape, and went started driving by the farm field, um, I noticed it was a lot closer than what my peripheral thought it was, and it was metallic. Well, it was a metallic sphere, sphere, about 20 feet above the pine trees, and it was the size of a small pickup truck,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't moving. Um, I pull up, slow down, stop, and I leave it in like my 1 o'clock position on my windshield. I'm like, what the hell is this? And so I shut my truck off. I open up the door. I step out, but I don't. I stay behind my door, my driver's door. And I'm looking at it. It's not making any sound, nothing, not moving, anything. And so I start panicking. I'm like, oh shit, this is UFO. Fuck, I'm gonna get abducted or some shit. Because I've always been big into UFOs since little, and but I started freaking out about it. So I jumped back in my truck. This damn thing starts. It stayed in my windshield. As soon as I started moving, it was there the whole time. And so I'm floored and went flying down this curvy ass dirt road to get back there to his house, and I could see it above the trees still, follow me in my windshield view where I had stopped. Well, by the time I get to his house, it's gone. And I jump out, I'm screaming, get out here, I seen a UFO. And he's like, well, we're looking up around because he lived in like around the pine trees and stuff, and didn't see it. Drove back out, didn't see it anymore, and I come home, dropped him off, I left. The next morning, I picked him up again, and actually, no, I'm sorry, he called me. He called me that night, and he said his folks or his mom didn't work. Said military had showed up out there. Wouldn't say why they were out there, but military had showed up out there. So he called me and told me that, and I was like, holy shit, I seen something, whether it was otherworldly or something secret military, I don't know, but I just know it was a round metallic ball the size of a damn pickup truck that made no sound and nothing. It scared the shit out of me.
What about you, Brandon?
How about you, Brandon?
What about mine? I mean, mine was Tipton Theater. We was all up there. It was me, James, my wife, Sarah, and Adam. I mean, Alex and his brother.
Maybe. Yeah, his brother was there.
But we was all sitting up there at the top. So called we see there's a white shadow lady. I mean, a white lady in the white dress lady that roams around up there, and I'm sitting there talking to Alex, and next thing you know, I didn't even realize James and Sarah had already done left. And I'm sitting there talking to Alex, and I turn around and talk to Alex, and I was like, "Where's James and Sarah going?" And he turns around and look, and he said, "They what? They're already gone." I said, "No, wait, what the hell was that? What I just saw walk by?" He's like, "I don't know what you saw." I looked and I said, "Dude, I just saw a white shadow figure. I mean, it just went by. It was female, had the hair just a little bit longer than my wife, and I thought it was actually her just because it was a quick glance." And going up there to the control room, and he said, "No, they already gone downstairs." I said, "No, dude, they walked in the control room." So I got up and started walking towards it and realized there wasn't nobody there. So I was sitting there and said, "Well, I just saw a woman figure, same height as my wife. All I saw was the back of her body, but it was just a white figure going by." So I'm like, "Dang, gummit." So that's one of my creepiest thing I saw because I never really saw any white shadow figure. I have seen dark figures, but I never saw anything white that came across. I'm like, there be no such thing until that night. Uh, Especially hearing strange things down in the basement. I mean, not the basement, underneath the stage. Besides me pranking one of our former paranormal ladies, girl, whatever you want to call her, best one of our friends. You hang around, you're going to get pranked. But I think Tipton to me is pretty the best. I mean, not pretty, one of the best hot spots besides the library. The library's got activity, but Tipton's got more if you go in a smaller group because they don't interact with the big group. Because when James and them went back for the second time with a small group, a lot more happened down there because his daughter got grabbed down there and marks on her arm. And you can actually see it in the video that it was shaping as they was filming.
Oh
Yeah, it
wow.
looks like a handprint.
All five fingers, even the thumb on the back of the arm, it was just right there.
And I can't believe I performed on
And
that
she was
theater
wearing a sweater.
twice. Oh, sweater.
And she was wearing a sweater and she had to pull her sleeve up. The mayor of Tipton, she came to our reveal and she told Alex that when she performed on that theater, she once or twice seen a man up there in the lighting rafters that he was like there and gone.
Yeah, no, them lights are bright. It wouldn't surprise me. Heck, I'm not gonna lie. If you guys ever been up there, them lights are so bright you can't even see that crowd. I'm just like, jeez, Louise, and I sweat easily. So like, I'm
Yeah,
like, I always wear a hat, sweating buckets. I'm like, God help me. But that wouldn't surprise me neither.
well, there's a rumor that a guy fell from there from that top lighting area, fell through the floor roof area, whatever you want to call it, crawl space.
Oof. Or
But I don't know if he
Alex, you better not
survived or
come down
not.
to Tipton. They'll have a field day.
But the coolest place I've been is the city hall with the old hotel.
Hotel. Mm-hmm.
with the we call it the image of the. I mean, not the image, but the recorder of the woman screaming, going all the way down.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the
I
coolest.
mean, the man,
Oh, the man. The coolest thing
the
about that
woman's
one is
crying
because
afterwards. Yeah.
we had Dorsey, one of our investigators, up there on the second floor doing a deco section, and we was all at the bottom on the first floor, sitting, standing around the main counter when you come in, and she said, she said whiskey, and I was like, "You like whiskey?" And she responded back, "Williams." I said, "Urban, I mean, Edward Williams, I mean, the Williams whiskey drink." And she replied back to me with it, "Yes." And I was like, "You like poker?" "Yes." "Card games?" I mean, I was actually having a conversation back and forth with her, with a guy that likes whiskey and plays poker back in the day, and that was one of the cool experiences because it went on. Not. I think it went on at least over 5 minutes, having a
Mm-hmm.
straight conversation with it. Whatever I was throwing out, it was responding right back just like that with it. And it was pretty cool because
That's like.
you can't hear us down at the bottom because she was up top
Mm-hmm.
in the middle, well above us, and you definitely because when we got to her and you took the headphones off of it, you can hear it noise making like that loud. So we that was definitely the cool experience because I'm skeptical about the deco section, and James knows it too. Because if you sit too close, how you know they're not listening to you, even though it's turned up just the right volume amount that they can hear every word that you're saying and turn around and give it and manipulate it to a way that they make it like you're talking to somebody. That's why I told James. I said when we do something like that, let's pull back away from that
Mm-hmm.
so they can actually cannot hear you or see you. Go in another room. You really ain't got to be in there with them to have a conversation with them. And I did that in the library this last section, and I got one of the kids' name. I can't remember his name right offhand. When I told everybody, I said, "We'll just sit the person in here. Y'all stand out here and ask a question. Shut the door and ask the question behind the door because that would debunk anything that goes on with that person doing a deco session. Can't say I heard them or I, I, I was given false information, basically."
Right. And that's what happened to me being in that top room when everybody was in the geology room. And like I said, I was near the laser grid, and I thought everybody was messing with me, but no, everybody was in the geology room. I was by myself, and I'm like, all right, something's obviously in there with them. Something's out here with me. Nobody's messing with me, and I'm just like, oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, because I mean, when James swapped me up with a group, pulled me off with one group and put me with another group, as I went up there, and when they just got there in that same area you was talking about, I told them I said I would do the deco section because they was like that's how they was. So I was like, you know what, I'll do the deco section and I'll let y'all go outside and talk and give out answers. And I started coming up started hearing things over and over. And I came across the boy's name, and I didn't realize his Henry. And I said Henry. And after the deco section, I was like, "Is there anybody in here named Henry?" And the kid goes, "That'd be me." And I was like, "That's pretty cool." That's what one of the guy said in my group. He said that's pretty cool because I was like debating should I believe this or what, and that's like that's why I put y'all out here and put myself under there because I don't know y'all, don't know your names. I just met you a couple seconds, so that's why I put myself in the deco so I can get answer questions that I don't know. what kind of question is going to come out.
See,
Because if you put your friend in there, your friend's going to sit there. How you know they're playing tricks on you?
right. Well, what you should have done was you grabbed the neon light.
Did we lose it? You grabbed the neon
I
light.
think we did.
Oh, I went out for a sec.
Should have just left, I guess.
My
So
fault.
he grabbed the lightsaber.
Say,
Yep. What
let
you
go
need
of
to
the
do is you
light.
need
Let
to
go of
grab
the
the
light.
What you need to do is you need to grab the flashlight and be like, for reference, this is Kyle. All right, he's wearing a Ghostbuster shirt. Do you like Ghostbusters? We don't talk about the second movie, but do you like Ghostbusters?
Kyle, you really gonna let him go to that?
Oh, I'm gonna clip that one. That clip's gonna be on my TikTok. I'm like, why are they talking about Ghostbusters 2?
Right.
Don't worry, Mr. Ghostbuster up there, and like got the whole gig in his house.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, I'm Mr.
Yeah.
I'm Mr. Buster up there.
Yeah.
You're there. Slow it down because you ain't got but 61%.
God damn it.
Duct tape and a satellite dish is not internet.
I mean, that's how we were back in the day. Satellite set up.
Right.
Gosh.
Okay. What are some locations you would like to investigate?
I'm trying to think of that.
Brandon wants to do Doll Island because he likes the dolls.
No.
But I like to go to the Doll Island over there in Mexico.
No, Doll Island.
I hate
no.
Doll
No.
I want to go to Doll Island. I don't know why. I want to go.
Oh.
No.
Nope.
Kevin,
Nope.
you would enjoy that so much, though.
No, I would not. Nope.
It's like a little vacation.
It's not a vacation, and you're fucking with me right now because we both know what
I
Island
would
is.
never.
Yes, you would. It's because I told the ghost this is Kyle. He likes to bust ghost. Yeah, send me to the scary Doll Island. Fuck. I'm gonna be going to Doll Island. I'm gonna be scared of squishy billows, and by the end of it, oh, that's a weird place.
I don't know. I'd like to do
I don't
the
even like to go in
catacombs of Paris.
James' bedroom because that's all she's got, them creepy dolls.
my daughter, not me. Yeah, Paris catacombs. I think would be cool to investigate. Or Pelagia Island off the coast of Italy. Basically the same thing as the catacombs. They dumped people there that were sick. They put a hospital there, and then the hospital closed down, and they were just dumping people there to die. The Italian government knows it's haunted, but they won't. You have to get special permission to get out there and actually investigate it. And I've only seen Ghost Adventures. The only people I've seen actually investigate it that I'm aware of.
Ugh, Ghost Adventurers. Ugh.
Yeah. Zach.
Don't get me started. That'll be an hour rant.
James stole the dolphin from them.
Brandon's a Zach fan.
Anyways, trust me, I don't.
They're wearing the same glasses.
All right. Our next question is what's some advice you would give someone wanting to be what's some advice you would give someone wanting to start being a paranormal hunter.
Devin needs advice for the Doll Island.
Yeah, I need advice for the Doll Island if Brandon's not with me.
He doesn't know I booked him some tickets.
There you
Make
go.
sure you got two, because I want to go.
Worst case scenario, Brandon's not
I,
with me. What do
I
I
mean,
do?
as far as getting
Besides, bring my
started, I
shit
mean,
bucket.
you could. They and some toilet paper.
You,
As far
I'm
as
on an
getting
island.
started,
There's trees.
I mean, true, it leaves. Um, I mean, you can
Got
go
baby dolls
cheap.
too.
You don't have to go buy expensive equipment. I mean, we've been doing this a long time, 10 plus years. Um, you can even use your phone voice apps on your phone as a voice recorder. The older recorders are finding are better because they have less filters in them, so you're able to pick up the lower frequency EVPs and stuff. But approach everything as a skeptic. Not everything's paranormal. Not everything's haunted. Use common sense. You can start out by going out to cemeteries and stuff and seeing if you catch anything. Plus, also see if you can handle the vibes of if the I don't say the atmosphere, but if your surroundings change, you can feel it. Some people can't handle that. I've took people that thought they wanted to do this and then took them out to places and the atmosphere changed, not always for the good, and they started freaking out, anxiety, that they had to get out of there. And that happens. That happens to even senior investigators from time to time, but they were to the point they didn't want to do it no more. So it's just the biggest thing is just being skeptical. Don't believe everything you see on TV. And you don't have to break the bank on buying equipment. Be smart about it. A basic recorder. That's really all you need to get started. Um, and a lot of that is to record your personal experiences. You can go out to any haunted location, cemetery, whatever, with no equipment, and just possibly a personal experience. So there's all sorts of different ways you could approach it, but yeah, the biggest thing is just not everything's haunted. You use some common sense, debunk things, try to debunk things, and if you can't debunk them, then it's obviously could be paranormal. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, just be open minded about it.
Okay. So what I'm hearing
Well,
is Devin needs to be open minded about the baby dolls.
listen, I'm not going on Baby Doll Island. Listen. The sad part is, you would put me on a boat. You'd come with me because I'd be terrified, and you'd be like, this would be a good podcast episode. Click, click. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Random Hour. We're stuck here on a Baby Doll Island with Devin. Take me home. I'm scared. Where's my wife? Lane's sitting there on FaceTime. Have fun. Have fun on your guys'
That
trip.
is not true. You know for a fact that if I really wanted you to go, all I would have to do is convince your wife.
I know. She'd be like, this is so much fun.
She'd be down for it.
She would be. But she'd also be like, I'm too scared. I'm staying on the boat. You two go.
Yep. She'd hook up a GoPro to Devin and send him on.
God.
That's funny. That's funny. You'd be
That.
surprised seeing how many more. It's usually the women that's more intrigued by this and not as scared of doing it as there are men. Like we've had during tours, we've had a lot of couples where at first the man's like, "Oh, this is bullshit," and the woman's scared, but as they get through the tour, depending on what happens, it almost changes. Sometimes the man becomes scared and the woman's excited. we had we had that
Rush.
happen years ago at the old Hayhire Hospital. We did a tour down there, and it was military couples that came in, and the girls were scared. And of course, I did our presentation, And I could just see it in the guys' faces. They thought this was bullshit. They wasted their money, blah, blah, blah. Took them in the back, started getting them, and stuff started happening. And Roland, who's one of the spirits in one of the bathrooms, the old maintenance man, he liked talking to the ladies. And they came in there and they started interacting with him. He'd light up devices for them and this, that, and the other. And one of the ladies, and that was starting to creep the guys out. Then one of the ladies said, "If you want my husband, I don't remember his name, to leave," she said his name. She said, "Say his name for him to leave," and he said it. And the dude ran out of the bathroom,
Nope.
and he was almost in tears, freaking out. It was the funniest shit. But that's sometimes it's crazy how people will change when stuff like that starts happening.
Lord, yeah, no. I did get spooked. I'm not gonna lie. I did get spooked when it said devil. It said something else because I do walk with a limp. It also said devil hurt, back off, and I said, "Yep, I'm a back up." I did get spooked that part. That part did spook me. I ain't gonna lie. Because at first I heard devil, I'm like, "Oh man, did I just summon the devil?" And then I'm like, hurt, I'm hurt." And then I just said, and I just walked in the room. I'm not gonna lie. That's when I got spooked, and I was like, "I'm going back to the laser grid." So I was a victim of. I got spooked, and my wife's over here like, Do you like so and so? Do you like his hat? Do you want his hat?" It's just like great.
That's hilarious. I'm just glad y'all had a good time. I mean,
Had to make this stuff
it seemed like
fun.
every group did. It seemed like every group did.
Ah,
Yeah.
no, we enjoyed it. We thought the ticket prices were fair. We actually liked the way the tickets printed out. We were like, ooh. And we knew it was a fundraiser event, so I was like, all right, cool. Let's fundraise for the library. And
Mm-hmm.
again, everybody at home needs to check these guys out. Great presentations, great social media presence. If you guys enjoy ghost hunting in the South Georgia area, check them guys out. But yeah, that's it. That's all the questions we got, guys. Is do you have anything you'd like to say? Any last words?
Anything you would like to plug
It just
before we
Yeah,
thank
sorry. Anything where the
yeah
people at home can find
yeah
you?
yeah. It's just, thank y'all for having us, and definitely check it if you like anything paranormal stuff. Want to follow us? Check out Cross the Line Paranormal. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So it's just simple Cross the Line Paranormal. There's no special add-on characters or anything like that. So we're easy to find, and we have a lot of video content out there on several of the platforms, mostly TikTok, but we're working more on some on YouTube. So you can definitely, if you want to watch some cool, creepy videos, and definitely check that out.
Stay tuned for the ride along.
Okay. And as always, guys, you can check me out on my podcast, the More Sports Podcast, the sports podcast for everybody, and as well as our movie review podcast, Popcorn Buckets, where we review a movie every Sunday. And as always, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Random Incorporated, where you can see the video version of this episode, as long as other awesome content creators we brought on this year. You can follow us on social media at Twitter, Random Corporate One, and on Instagram as Rando Boys. And James, Brandon, you guys got any last words?
Yeah, I got last words.
Good.
Anybody, everybody out there listen to this show. Send some creepy dolls over there to Devin.
Don't you dare.
Over there to
Don't. If they do, I'm coming to your next tour.
Let's break the record. Let's break the record, people. Let's send all these dolls that is creepy to Devin.
No, I will bring it to your next tour. I will
Christmas
bring
is
them
coming
to
up.
your next tour. I will dump them on the. I will stay with both of you. I will not leave your side when I'm holding a bag full of dolls. And people are going to be like, why is that man holding a bag of dolls? This is Kyle's fault. Also, check out our episode on this show. But it's Kyle's fault. It is Kyle's fault. Also, please check out our show. And it's partly Brandon's fault. But, anyways, these dolls are here. These dolls are haunted. Picture for free.
Kyle, make sure you edit that real good in there. And guys, I do appreciate it. And all the listeners out there, please follow us and tell your friends about us. We're a nonprofit organization that if you out there know somebody that needs help, please shoot us a text. We'll love to come out there and help the families out or friends, no matter what. If you got a creepy place for us to go to, or any place out there for us to raise money for, just shoot us a text. We'll be there for you.
Okay. All right. Until next time, guys.